The Supreme Court of Appeals of the Republic of Turkey dates back to 1868 to the reign of Sultan Mahmud II. Mission. Our mission is to make contributions to resolve judicial disputes by independent, impartial, equal and fair trial procedures in an efficient and expeditious way, with a commitment to democracy, human rights and the rule of law. Vision. As an effective and reliable prosecution office of the Supreme Court of Appeals at both national and international fields, our vision is to contribute to the realization of criminal justice in conformity with the principles of the rule of law. Main principles: respect for human dignity and human rights, rule of law, commitment to the democratic values and universal jurisprudence, commitment to Atatürk's principles and reforms, independence and impartiality, equality and justice, accessibility and reliability. As being a constitutional institution, the General Prosecution Office of the Supreme Court of Appeals undertakes duties and competences set out in several laws, primarily the law on Supreme Court of Appeals and the law on political parties. The General Prosecution Office of the Supreme Court of Appeals, acting within the body of the Supreme Court of Appeals, is a central organization and does not have a hierarchical tie with the local public prosecution offices.
Aziz Atatürk, Yargıtay Cumhuriyet Başsavcısı seçilmem nedeniyle Yargıtay Cumhuriyet Başsavcılığı heyeti olarak yüksek huzurunuzdayız. Ülkemizin sağlam temeller üzerinde ilerlemesi ve gelişmesi için hukukun üstünlüğünün, demokrasinin ve bağımsızlığın vazgeçilmez zorunluluk olduğunun bilincindeyiz. Manevi huzurunuzda saygıyla eğiliyoruz. Ruhunuz şad olsun.
At the General Prosecution Office, corresponding to the criminal chambers of the Supreme Court of Appeals, there are departments performing appeal review according to the type of crime, as well as the bureaus for objection, reversal of the judgment in favor of law, investigation of high-level public officers, political parties, and interjudiciary conflicts. The General Prosecutor of the Supreme Court of Appeals is elected for a 4-year term by the President from among 5 members of the Supreme Court of Appeals, upon receiving the majority of votes cast by members of the General Assembly of the Supreme Court of Appeals. The same procedure applies for the election of the Deputy General Prosecutor of the Supreme Court of Appeals. Upon an appeal of a decision of a court of first instance or a regional court of appeal, the prosecution office examines the case and prepares its judicial opinion, known as tebliğname, and then submits it to the relevant criminal chamber. Upon a request or ex officio, the General Prosecutor may object to any judgment of the criminal chambers of the Supreme Court of Appeals in order to eliminate unlawfulness in a judgment or differences between jurisprudence of the chambers. Upon a request of the Ministry of Justice or ex officio, the General Prosecutor applies to the relevant criminal chamber of the Supreme Court of Appeals for reversal of judgments or verdicts passed by judges or courts in favor of law, finalized without passing through appellate or appeal review in order to eliminate unlawfulness in judgments. The General Prosecution Office keeps the registration files of the political parties and supervises their statutes and programs as well as their activities to ensure their conformity with the provisions of the Constitution and the law. When it is established that a political party conducts unlawful acts and procedures in its establishment phase or during its activities, investigations are carried out by the General Prosecution Office, and if necessary, it files a lawsuit for the closure of the relevant political party at the Constitutional Court. The duty of conducting investigations and filing a lawsuit at the criminal chambers of the Supreme Court of Appeals against high-level public officers regarding crimes committed by such persons in the course of their duties are performed by the General Prosecution Office of the Supreme Court of Appeals. The General Prosecutor of the Supreme Court of Appeals represents the prosecuting authority at the hearings in the Constitutional Court or the Supreme Court of Appeals during the trials of high-level public officers. The General Prosecution Office of the Supreme Court of Appeals, with the aim of improving relations, strengthening cooperation and coordination, and exchanging information with prosecution authorities, foreign judicial institutions, and international organizations, organizes study visits as well as international meetings at home and abroad. The Prosecution Office, which is an institutional member of International Association of Prosecutors, also signs Memoranda of Understanding in judicial arenas with the General Prosecution Offices of many countries. The General Prosecution Office organizes pre-service and in-service training programs for judges and public prosecutors in order to enhance their knowledge and ensure uniformity in practice, publishes its experiences and submits them to the benefit of practitioners, as well as supports other institutions in the field of education. General Prosecution Office of the Supreme Court of Appeals, in the light of its vision and mission, is determined to conduct its duties with the commitment to human rights, the rule of law, and universal values.